Today on Hong Kong Blurays, we're looking at our first Vengeance Pack release, which was actually their first release as well, I understand. The Fatal Flying Guillotines.
Welcome to HKB, I'm Leon.
I'm Shaz.
If you're new to the channel, welcome, it's good to have you on board. And for all returners, it's nice to have you back. If you like Hong Kong films and you collect on the Blu-ray format, perhaps subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest content.
Our review is in two parts. The first part will be of the release itself, and then the second part will be our thoughts on the film.
So the package on this one, this time round we have a Mediabook, which I quite like. Very well presented. We've got a poster, a little mini poster, two-sided. So anything like that is always appreciated by us. On the inside we have a Blu-ray here, booklet, all in German, but with some good pictures in there. And at the back we've got two DVDs which have got both versions of the film as well. So that aspect of the package I thought was pretty good, Chaz. Yeah?
Yeah, brilliant.
And the film itself, we got two versions. We got a standard definition version and a HD version. 120 minutes, no not 100, yeah. 1 hour, 20 minutes for the HD version. And I think there was an extra 7 minutes on the standard definition version. Oh, correct?
Because that was sort of reconstructed from different sources, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. So this isn't a bad package. You know, there's a couple of trailers on there. A Vengeance Pack trailer as well. We're going to give the package 3 out of 5 stars.
So, what did you think of the picture on this one?
Yeah, I was a little bit underwhelmed, to be honest. I think what it was for me was there was insertions for some cutout scenes and they were really raw and not even the same aspect ratio.
No, I noticed those, and to be fair, it completely took me out of the film and sort of made me come out of the story because it was so obvious the way these different shots were put in, which I think was a bit of a shame. I guess they were trying to give a more complete story, but I also was a bit confused because we watched the HD version, which as far as I was aware wasn't reconstructed, and yet it felt reconstructed with these other little clips sort of put in there.
Yeah, it definitely had inserted scenes on the HD versions. Yeah. So if it was down to me, I would have left out all the inserted scenes, even though they were like violent scenes that you might have thought was critical to the film. I'd have gone without it and just watched those scenes in the standard definition version myself. It
was literally only a second, a bit more of an impact of someone being killed or whatever. I don't feel it necessarily added to the story. Well, I felt like that anyway. Yeah. And it's a shame because the rest of the main sort of picture was spot on. It was very clear, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was super clear on the HD scenes, and there was a lot of definition in there. I would grumble and say colours looked a tiny bit washed out, but then if you look at the original, sources for this film, they've probably done an awful lot of work on this, so you do have to appreciate it overall.
Definitely.
Yeah, for this one, 3 out of 5 stars. Right, moving on. The audio, Shaz. What did you think about the audio?
I thought it was okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, we listened to the Mandarin audio, didn't we?
Yeah. I mean, I would have said it was just serviceable. I thought it was pretty rough, compared to other remasters that we've seen. It did the job, but it just scraped by for me. There's a lot of background noise, so on and so forth. So I know I'm always very picky with the audio, but when I'm watching a film like this, I like to be able to turn it up and not have a lot of noise in the background, especially for a kung fu film.
Yeah.
So if I'm kind of debating with myself, up volume, down volume, when I'm watching a fight scene, it kind of puts me off a little bit. So the audio, 2 out of 5 stars.
And the subtitles, I thought they were okay, maybe a bit small for me. What did you think?
I really struggled with the subtitles on this one. I thought, if I'm going to be honest, I thought the subtitles were pretty horrendous. They really needed some sort of remastered subtitles. If they were remastered, then they were a very poor choice.
I think the font was unusual, wasn't it? So you normally have sort of quite plain text, but this, I don't know, it was a bit different, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit different, and it was right at the bottom of the screen on the border between the black letterbox and the film. So it was kind of jarring to look at, and it was tiny, and you just felt like you were pulled away from the film reading them. So unfortunately this time, subtitles are only going to get 2 out of 5 stars. So this film's an independent kung fu movie. It's about a character called Chen Ping, played by Carter Wong. In this film, his mum's ill, I believe, and she's probably dying, and he's trying to make her well again by going after this medicine book. And he needs to get this book off some monks, and he has to go through 3 trials, which, as luck would have it, is fighting. Also, there's a prince in this, and he needs a character called Mo, who lives in No Return Valley. He needs him for his own purposes, because he has this special lightning strike technique, which is the guillotines, and he wants to offer him the same book. As it turns out, when Chen Ping does get the book and takes it to his mum, she ends up being poisoned, so he feels betrayed, and there's some conflict. The film spirals into, fight scenes galore, really, doesn't it, Chaz?
Yeah.
So what did you think of this one?
I thought it was okay. I felt, personally, I didn't get the payoff I was expecting. Won't go into too much detail because I don't want to ruin it for anyone that's not seen it. But yeah, I felt a little disappointed at the end with how it finished. And to be fair as well, I did find some of the fight scenes a bit overly long, and it felt like they lacked soul, if that makes sense. It just felt like endless fighting, so I was starting to tune out a little bit. Found it a bit boring. And what did you think?
I do like kung fu films quite a lot, but I thought the story in this one was pretty overlooked. It was weak, and I think if you have a weak story, then it dilutes the film. Now, if I start getting bored with a fight scene, then I feel like there's something pretty much wrong, and I felt like there was just punch, punch, kick, kick, punch, punch, kick, kick. Nothing particularly special.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there was nothing that remarkable about it, was there?
No.
Other than the guillotine bits.
Yeah. I mean, as you know, I was pretty excited about getting this film.
Yeah, you were, yeah.
I've told you about other Carter Wong films I've seen, like The 18 Bronze Men. I absolutely adore him in that. I think he's fantastic. Most people out there remember him from Big Trouble in Little China. He had a role in that. But in this one, he was a little bit wooden to me. I thought the person that held it together is Chen Sing. For me, What did you think?
That was the villain character, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would sort of agree with that. I know when we talked about the film afterwards, I said about who was your sort of favourite standout person, and my first thought was one of the monks, like the head monk, and unfortunately we couldn't find that chap's name on anywhere, could we? But
no.
It wasn't like the main character, which is such a shame, because I don't feel he necessarily did anything wrong, but for whatever reason he just didn't particularly stand out to me.
No, I don't think we were alone in this, folks, because this was on screens for less than a week. The film...
Yeah, when it came out, yeah.
Yeah, it was released by Success Film Company in 1977, ironically. and it only made like 375,000 Hong Kong dollars. So it was pretty much a flop. And this is just our view, our opinion, you know.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
There will be other people out there that, you know, pretty...
have a different view, really,
yeah.
really enjoy it, and yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, to us, you know, there's better guillotine films out there. Stuff like Master of the Flying Guillotine, Jimmy Wang Yu. He puts these all into that performance, you know. I really, really feel it. As we've covered on the channel before, the Flying Guillotine from the Shaw Brothers, absolutely fantastic. Chen Kwon-tai is a killer in that. And then the second one, Flying Guillotine 2, also awesome. I think that one's coming out later on 88 Films.
Oh, right, brilliant.
And there is also a more modern make of the Guillotines, which I haven't brought myself to watch yet, but I will put it on at some point. Yeah, this film also had like music ripped off, we noticed, from some other films.
Yeah, we think there was a couple bits of music. You thought one sounded like Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, definitely Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, definitely, I think. And I noticed something that possibly was from the Pink Panther films. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Possibly, or it just reminded me of that film. Might not have been.
Okay, so we'll give you our opinion on this film now. Now we're going to score it. For you, Shaz?
I'd give this film 6 out of 10.
Right, so you possibly got a little more out of it than I did.
Well, I did. I quite liked the fight with the monk with the pressure points. I thought I quite enjoyed that, and then he went back, and this was the main character, Chen Ping. He went back and learnt the pressure points for the next fight. Yeah, I did like that bit, and you know. Yeah,
there was a bit of promise at that part, wasn't there?
And I did also like some of the effects after the guillotines had been used.
Yeah.
I think some of that was quite well done.
Yeah, you are a bit of a sucker for those all practical effects.
Yeah, I did enjoy those bits, yeah.
Yeah. So, for myself, I didn't hate this film, but it was just bog standard, middle of the road to me. So I'm going to score it 5 out of 10. Right. So, are we going to recommend this?
It's a difficult one because I feel like the
bear
film...
in mind how much this package goes for.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a cheap release to buy, but it is a nice thing to have in your collection. You know, a nice media book. It is a nice thing, but because of our issues with maybe the format, you know, how it's been put together and what have you, the actual film, and then the fact that we find the film not as good as others, maybe people would want to miss this one. I don't know. What do you feel?
Well, I think if you're a fan of classic old kung fu movies, you know, don't let our score put you off. If you're into collecting these, this is possibly the best edition available at the moment. So, you know, weigh it up. It is quite a bit of money. But, you know, the Vengeance Pack, if it sounds like we're a bit down on them for that, bear in mind that was the first release. We have a later one here called Lethal Panther. Now, as Shaz can attest, when I put this on, I was blown away. It looked so good compared to the old VHS I used to have. I just had no anticipation that they could get it that good. And, yeah, we've got another 2 currently on order from them. I spent my birthday money getting... ordering the Black Mask and the Golden Mask, a bit of a theme going on there. So yeah, we do, you know, have a lot of respect for this company. We do think they put a lot of work in. Just that first release, I don't know, I'm undecided. If we can find copies of it still purchasable, because there's only a limited quantity of these, we'll put some purchase links in the description.
We hope you have enjoyed today's episode.
And remember, if you did, let us know by pressing that like button.
And we'd love to hear your thoughts and comments, so please leave a comment below, or you can always email us at hongkongbluerays@gmail.com.
And remember folks, be true and buy the blue.